Hello and welcome to episode 9.
His preparation is well known.
Of productivity and procrastination. I'm Joe.
I am James.
Okay.
Sorry.
We've also got apparently Tim Allen on the line here. We are productivity procrastination. We're looking to get productive. We're currently procrastinators, or at least I am. And this is our weekly podcast to talk about our week and how we did and how productive we were and some tips and tricks.
Yes. The journey.
The journey.
Well, to begin this, I'm going to put on some incense.
I see.
Right.
Well, how was your week?
Oh yeah, that. Well, the week was good. How about was your week?
What kind of stuff did you do this week, James?
Well, Joe, I watched 1,400 episodes of house renovations and tiny home things and all sorts of stuff that my wife was watching on weird channels that we didn't know existed on our Samsung TV.
All right.
I also thought about writing.
Oh. So what you're telling me is that you didn't do anything at all this entire week.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh, well. Well, good. Wow, now...
It's not entirely true. I did do the smallest bit of work last night, and I have watched a couple of videos on trying on how to improve quicker. And it's all pointing to that same thing that I talked about last week, where it's having a focus and working towards specific things. So, like, for example, I'm working on a Gorgon piece. In order to draw a Gorgon piece, I want to break it down into, like, there's going to have scales. So I want to learn how to draw scales. So I'm going to do a study on scales. Figure out my composition. And just, like, break everything down and study those individual parts as I need them.
Okay, I think... Ma'am, may I just make a suggestion here?
No.
Yes. I get what you're thinking you need to do. However, wasn't it supposed to just be a snapshot of you right this moment?
Yes,
Like,
but I want it to be a good snapshot. I want it to be proud of
well, it's not a snapshot in the future, though, Joe. After 14
this is my new process.
studies.
This is my new process.
But okay, all right, well, I thought it was just going to be, hey, this is how much I've progressed, just knowing what I know right now. I'm going to make a Gorgon piece. Not, I got to make a Gorgon piece. I guess I better study up on every single thing that a Gorgon could possibly make and do and
if
be
it
made
makes you
of.
feel better, I could do a different piece before the Gorgon piece with this new strategy, this new process. And so that way it is my new process. But that's how I plan on doing all of my pieces from now into the future.
Well, yeah, because otherwise it'll be how many years later until I see this Gorgon?
Theoretically, right? Theoretically, I should be able to get a Gorgon piece done this weekend. Because here's the thing. I took tomorrow off. I have a 3-day weekend. So cool. If anybody's wondering, yes, I am drinking orange juice. And I also have 2 oranges.
Did you make that orange juice yourself out of oranges?
No.
Oh,
I am not that cool.
well then. That's very orangey of you, I guess.
Yes, thank you. I'm very proud of my orange.
Glad your vitamin C is up.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit of like videos on the AI, the video AIs and things like that lately. And I've been really starting to think about, all these creative jobs, and the future of them and all these things. It's I want your opinion on all of that. I mean, I know that's not exactly drawing or writing or anything, but it's getting pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So, I think it depends on the intent of your drawing. So, if you're drawing specifically for... So, here's the issue. There hasn't been, and I mean, this might be something in the future, there hasn't been, at least to my understanding, a way of making something exactly how you expect it to be with like AI generation. And I even hesitate calling it AI because it's not like artificial intelligence, it's just generative. I think they call it generative AI. But it's not even AI. It's just machine learning. But whatever.
Right. Yeah, I'm not thinking it's sentient. Yeah, I'm with you.
It's if you want to make a pretty piece, as long as you don't mind either hiding their hands or or repainting over them yourself, you can make a pretty piece, but you really have to pay the nitty-gritty details if you're going to be just like generating pieces, because a lot of like the perspective and the forms get really wonky in those pieces.
Well, I'm not talking about right this moment. I'm talking about 5 years into the future when all their hands are right, all their angles are right.
Then yeah, I think it's going to end up being kind of along the same vein of, at least this is not a an experienced professional telling you what he thinks. It's some schlub who's still learning and is guessing. But my inclination is that it's going to end up being similar to like photo bashing, where they like take photos and they add them into their work and use that to like basically speed up the process of creating pieces, as opposed to like AI's the stop for everything.
I don't know if it's going to be so limited later on.
I think
But
for most pieces, that's going to be end up being the intent of it or the use of it.
yeah, I mean, I think physical products, there's always going to be a place for that, personally, like a painting, a piece of art hanging on the wall, that kind of stuff. Um, a book made by a human being, written by a human being, I don't know. Um, but I mean, it's just going to be to the point where you just, say, oh, I like a story about this random thing. Main character does this, and give it to me like this, sepia tones only, and boom, 1 minute later, you're watching your show that you want to watch with 4K, perfect, awesome video, as long as you want to see it.
I don't think that's 5 years in the future.
I mean, it's probably not, but could be 10.
Hmm.
But
Sounds
it
like a
makes me think.
dystopia.
Yeah, well, I know. And because of that, I thought of many dystopian storylines based on that premise. But um, it has got me thinking, like, I've got to do my stuff faster. Um, because I don't know. I don't know how much of my future is going to be based on a craft that could be obsolete almost. In the amount of time that it would take to craft something.
I don't. I don't know. So here's the thing, right? It seems as though each artist has their own prose, like their own like way of writing. And like especially like words they choose and like how they string them together and that type of stuff. And I think that's going to be the truth for AI as well. Like you're able to pick out, oh, this is pretty obviously AI.
Yeah.
I think it's more important that you create because you like to create. And I think it's going to show through. I don't think there's going to be as much competition for writing as you think there is.
Yeah, I mean, later on, I think we're going to start to see made by humans stamped on things. um, I mean, you can type in, oh yeah, write me a, blah 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 with the style of Mark Twain, and I mean, they if it's a famous author, they could pump out something very, very akin to that. If it's somebody like me who's not, then they wouldn't be able to do that until there's a piece to parse through. But um, it's just, I mean, just like every actor's thinking about this right now. I mean, there's big companies stopping big money projects because of this. So there's
So I don't know.
a little bit of worry going on in the industries.
And I understand that absolutely. I don't know. It feels like to me, I've never been concerned that the AI is taking my jobs. Because, I mean, realistically, if I can make like $2,000, $2,500 a month, I'm happy. Like, I can live off that. And that's such a small sum compared to, an actual good salary that I'm willing to bet that I can find something.
Yeah,
And I do
I
art
mean, there's that.
not because oh, it needs to make me money. I do art because I like it and then I hope it's going to make me money.
Yeah, well, there's the term starving artist.
Well, I'm definitely not starving
Yeah.
yet. Maybe
Well,
it's
nor
like
am I.
maybe it's plump customer service agent. Maybe that's a term.
Plump. Plumps. That was my first fish. Big goldfish. Boy, was he plump. Plump's the second had him beat, though.
Oh.
Yes, I buried him under the fence when I was a child. Anyway, bring back horrible memories for me in my childhood. Um, see what your weight problems do to me? They affect more than just you, Joe.
Tough.
Oh, okay. Um, well, I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. I'm just, you know, wanted to know your thoughts, really. And it's going to be better faster than we all want to think. And I mean, what I think it will do is push for more quality products because there's such crap out right now in a lot of areas that, let's just say generative video, they're going to see trends of what people are putting in there and want. And then those are going to be really the movies that maybe get created. I would imagine it would help. And if it doesn't, at least I'd be able to create some stories that I want to see in movie format, a little bit in some way. But in the now, it does make me think, I want to put down some good ideas right now. Like, while all this is in its infancy. And right now, I can probably make more money from it than I will in 15 years. So it just this week I've just basically thought about how we need to get it all going more seamless in my day. I mean, yes, I've dealt with recoveries and a lot of family coming over to visit Heather and my neighbor. He's been wanting to start a business, and so I've been helping him to get started in his thing. So done some of that. But what I know I really want to do is work on the novel that I've been working on lately, and kind of really just not hold back Normally I would like really, I want to get the character names perfect. I want to get like all these things have to like, but I I don't necessarily think I need every detail. I just need to get a good story down. I don't care if his name's spent a week on his name or her name or whatever, and you know, researching, yeah, what root form of this name means and all. Yes, like forget it. It's Steve. Steve is his name. Just stuff like that. Stuff that sometimes you ponder over for a long time and you research in various ways. It's like, dude, I don't have time for that. Pick a name and go for it, and that's move on. And I just it's just making me think about streamlining all this because I want a book out. I
Mm-hmm.
want things done, and yeah, AI is
So
not going to take away my job in a week, but I feel like I need something out.
yeah, I mean, I think using existential fear to push along a project is not a bad course of action. Um, I want to talk about two different things. One, my stance on AI, because I think we've talked about it once before, but I like to reiterate. I like human advancement. I like. I think AI is a net positive. Well, okay. Again, generative AI or generative whatever this is. I think it's a net positive for humanity, and I think it's something that should be used. My issue is with how it's collecting its data. It should not be scouring the internet for images and stuff of people's work. It should be doing, non-copyrighted stuff.
How are they going to get it good then, Joe?
Well, that's their problem.
They
Hire some
don't care.
artists.
It's easier just to pay a $900 million fine in 5 years when they figure it out.
Yeah. It's I get why they did it that way, but it's a little it's like the ask forgiveness versus permission type thing.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. So
Yeah.
what
I
then?
just, that's my only issue with AI is I'm not afraid of it. I am frustrated that they went the route they did.
Yeah, me too.
Um and then is there anything else you want to talk about AI? What's your stance on AI?
Sorry, what, you robot sadist? Oh, I mean, no. um, I love advancement. Um, I'm surprised we're not a little bit more advanced yet, but it does feel like most of the advancement, the really big things, take are just trying to take away the human robot. You know, um,
What do you mean by that?
well, I mean, first it's the physical. Now we got robots that are going to come out that can do a lot of physical stuff, can move like we do. That's coming very shortly. So before the realm of the creative was an impossible thing for for man to create something that could do it for free, basically. To take away that whole arena I mean, soon in 10 years, how many manual labor jobs are going to be there? How many how many people are going to be displaced in what they do? And are we going to be talking basic universal income
I
for
was about to say
everybody?
that exact
How
same
many
thing.
how many people are going to be on drugs and alcohol? And how many people are going to afford anything? It's all these dystopian things just start throwing out at you, and but it seems like big business is the only one that could have possibly created something that could take away these ginormous swaths of human only possible. We're being replaced. And when I was thinking about all this the other day, I mean, the number one word that just jumped out at me as I'm listening to all this stuff and watching it is unimportant. You know, human beings to be seen as unimportant, you know, replaceable. Um, it, and you meld that with celebrities. Um, at the very extreme of that spectrum, you have celebrities, people that by visual, you know, recognition alone, who that. I mean, everyone knows who Shaq is. Everybody. Regardless of if you care about basketball in any way, you know who Shaq is. People that are recognizable just instantly by who they are in 20 years, who's going to even know who anybody is? Who is going to be real and who's not? And who is going to be real that is of any importance? Because if everybody can just generate anything they want and it's all random who's there, the celebrity may disappear. And with the celebrity, you have to go to the other side of the spectrum. The people who already aren't known by anyone. You walk into a store, nobody goes up, oh, it's Joe! I mean, unless you know them personally, they don't know who you are. So, will we all just cease to care about anyone else because there is no. I mean, this is all dystopian, novel
Hmm.
type stuff, but where is the importance of man if you can't you aren't needed for physical stuff anymore. You aren't needed for creative stuff anymore. What are you needed for? Now you're just breathing air and destroying the world, right? I mean, why do they even why would we not just be unimportant? And then do we not have to justify our existence now? Are you worth more than the carbon footprint that you yeah, these are the types of things that you wonder what your life is going to be worth in 25 years. you know are you then just the burden of society? Are you then ready for the Soylent Green?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. I do think I think is a continued breakdown, or at least from my perspective. Again, this is just some schlub who lives alone in his apartment, which I love. I've been here a month now. It's been a month. That's crazy to me. Anyways, I think the breakdown of society, it will not necessarily break down of society, but being more separated from society. Like you have society, which is like this online social media thing, and then you have the real world, which is just you and your place, and maybe you go grocery shopping, or you have them do all the stuff for you. You have a robot, go ahead and pick all the stuff for you. You just come pick it up. And it's going to be, I think, more of a separation, continued separation of humanity into its own little, we're going to have all our little own pods, and not necessarily like, I'm just saying, like, the more AI advances, the less human interaction.
Yeah, and with less human interaction comes less empathy, less of all sorts of things, and more hatred, more crime, more of all those things that break down a society.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. I'm interested to see where the world's going to be in 5 years. That'll be fun. I mean, assuming people don't catch on that this is just a machine learning.
May you live in interesting times. Says the old Chinese proverb. Well, we do live in interesting times.
Agreed. All right, so my next question, James.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you get anything done this week?
Well, I used every excuse in the book. And I did play a little bit of a new game I bought.
Ooh, Nightingale?
Yes. Was one of the chief reasons why. I kept on putting it off. I'm like, I'm going to write all day tomorrow. And then that turned into, well, I'm going to play a few hours of this. Then afterwards, all right. And that turned into, well, then people are up. And then people come over. And then I'm waiting for somebody to text me back. And then I might as well play for a few more hours because there's not much left. And you know what? And that turns into, I'm going to set my alarm for 7 o'clock in the morning so that I can write for 2 hours before I have to talk to Joe. And then that turns into hitting the snooze button, Joe. And then you're barely able to get 15 minutes prior, and then the stinking jerk is up and he's ready. He can't even be late the one day you need him to be late.
Fine.
So ultimately, Joe, it's your fault at the end of all this. See? You were on time.
How dare I? Shameful.
I know. Okay, I forgive you already.
Well, thank you, James. So, what do you think you could do differently this week to actually make sure you get some stuff done?
Well, now that I have processed all my hatred for the machine,
okay,
I can now.
You can now begin
to do things in my life.
What's something more concrete you could do?
Well, Joe, let's turn this around for a moment while I think, and you tell us what you're going to do to make such a big difference in your life this week. Let me glean from the master.
Yes. So, reasons. Let's go over reasons. This week, I don't know. It was hard for me. So, I really, 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 really want to work while I'm at work. And then when I don't do it, then I'm like, well, I'm off work. I should be relaxing.
Oh, so you've defined your work time as work time, and you've defined your skills as an artist as work. Sorry.
So I want to be pursuing while at work, and then once I get off, I'm like, okay, Well, because I'm not doing. Once I get off of like working for the man. Okay. I was just double checking my head to make sure. Once I stop working for the man, I don't want to do anything. I think about it,
What
but then I
happened
get
to your
distracted.
after work? I eat my food for an hour, and then after that, I'm gonna like work for a few hours, and then after that, I'm gonna relax until X clock. Did you just push that aside for gaming,
Pretty much.
playing?
Yeah, I've
Oh,
just been slacking this week. There's so much to existing. So, like, I need to start exercising because exercising is good. I'm eating better because I'm actually cooking my own meals and I've been really enjoying that.
mm. It
But,
takes a little bit of time.
yeah,
I mean, if you're not making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, Joe.
no, no.
Okay.
I've got a new spaghetti recipe that mm,
Does that have meatballs
mm,
in it?
no. But it does
Does that
have
have any
hamburger.
meat types?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah,
Good.
yeah, yeah.
I prefer a little bit of
Yeah,
meat
no,
in
me
my
too.
spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Um, but yeah, I've been slacking this week. I was hoping that the goals would help this week, but I didn't. I didn't do any of my goals. I didn't even cross anything off.
I'm so sorry about that. But more importantly, do you make garlic bread with your spaghetti?
The intention is to yes. I haven't because I'm learning how to cook the spaghetti. But yes, garlic bread is great.
Okay, good. All right, you may continue.
Thank you. Um, I need to figure out a way of doing things differently, and I was hoping to glean some insights on how tomorrow night. Ah, there it is. Tomorrow night, James. I found I found the crack in the armor of indifference, of inactivity. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m., we're
Hmm.
going to do our weekly workathon. And you guys are welcome to join us. We'll be streaming it live on YouTube. Our workathon will look at his face. He's so excited about it.
No, I'm just trying to think. Okay, am I free tomorrow night? Yeah, I think I am. What is tomorrow? Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll be
We didn't do it last
good.
week.
No, I almost. I mean, I knew about it,
Of course you knew about it.
but I didn't
I
say
did too.
anything. So what did you
I didn't
do?
either. I decided I
Okay.
didn't want to do it that night, and I knew you would never call me about it, so I knew it was up to me. Um, but no, I like having that weekly thing, and I think it's good for our consistency to do it. I mean,
Hmm.
if it comes to a point, right? Here's the thing: if it comes to a
Mhm.
point, ooh, a
I
punishment,
don't. I don't like your tone of voice here.
the excitement.
The meetings will continue until morale improves.
If it ends up being a thing where we just can't get anything done, it might be worth just doing that every night from 8 to 10, just working together live on the internet.
Sorry, Joe. That's an impossibility for me.
When nights don't work for you.
Every night, almost, because I've got a job soon,
Oh.
starting Thursday, and my schedule's probably going to be like early afternoon till like 11 p.m. I don't know when my
Oh.
days off are yet. Um, but once that begins, only the morning times are available to me. So I'll
Okay.
be able to do this, and unless we do something maybe after it or in the
Mm-hmm.
morning time, would be the only time I can do it.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll play it by ear.
Sounds
Cause
good.
yeah, we need to. I need to get back on the horse. I need to, so yeah. A lot of feelings. It's that thing of the more I avoid it, the easier it is to avoid it. Or
Yeah.
and like I need to get back in the habit of making my barrier to entry nothing, which includes feelings, which means just doing it all the time. Just when I have a second, pick it up, just do some sketches. Just do mark that paper because that becomes habit. It becomes easy. And it's like I need that to be a constant thing so I don't think about it. It's not something like, "Oh, should I draw?" It's my hands already in my like I'm already holding it drawing. It's not a thought of should I draw. It's, "Oh, I'm drawing. I have a few seconds here." Or, you know,
Mm. Well,
it's
that's harder in writing, that's for sure.
for sure.
I have a few seconds. Well, I don't know if I could write a sentence in a few seconds, but I hear you. No, it's that's kind of where my head's going too. It's like, okay, well, just talking about the previous conversation with the whole AI thing, I just feel like I need to get some stuff done. And whether it's, never really gonna be that dystopian world where our words don't matter anymore and we're all overdone and half baked, then doesn't matter. I need to finish a book. So I don't mind working a little bit more. Um, so yeah. So is there any trouble with doing the things that you're claiming? I mean, of course, for me, there's family. Soon it'll be yard work as well. Um, Life, all that. We all have life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, are you? I know that
No.
you're living near friends and stuff. Are their lifestyles starting to pull you into mirroring theirs in such a way where is that going to be a problem?
Um,
Um,
with my friends, I just typically don't hang out with them except for on the weekends, even though they do live nearby. As far as like physically hanging out with them, um, we do play games online like I did before, but nothing
okay,
different than
so
usual. I think the biggest change, and it's not one I regret, is I'm cooking more, and so
yeah,
and that's been fun.
nice.
But yeah, I my goal this week is to make drawing accessible and part of my daily life. So it's no longer going to be post a drawing every day. It's going to be draw every day. That's my goal this week, is to draw every day. That's my one goal. If I don't accomplish that, we need to have a serious talk. But that is my one goal this week, is I'm going to draw every single day.
Well, my writing should be similar. I should write every single day I can. And once I know what my days off are, I'll probably choose one of those days to not have to do anything. But other than that, no requirements. But if I chose to, out of the love of the craft,
Mm-hmm.
then I will. Um, and that's the goal, is that the love of the craft pulls you in every day.
A few years ago, it was War of the Craft that pulled me in every day.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
All right. Is there anything else you want to add before we call it here?
No, I just hope that we can turn things around. It's still early in the year, and if we can start aligning our current choices with some of the goals that we first started this year with, I think it can be self-corrected.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think it's never too late. But I'm excited for this week. I'm excited to actually get back into the groove because I've had 2 bad weeks. I'm just like, I'm ready. I'm disappointed in myself, but I've grieved my my lost weeks, and I'm ready to move on, start working, start progressing. I have a way
Nice.
forward, and I'm excited.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, then, thank you for watching. And as an added little quip, because I forgot about these, but now I remember them, um, don't sell your bathwater.
Okay.
Unless it's James. James can sell his.